Annyeonghaseyo everyone, welcome to the land of Korean cinema. I watched today's movie simply because I liked the title. It's a 2016 mystery thriller called Insane or 날 보러 와요. The movie stars Kang Hae-won and Lee Sang-yoon. Lee Sang-yoon is a reporter who loses his investigational TV show in the beginning of the movie. A year later, he hears about a young woman's case who had apparently murdered her father and claims to have been locked up in an illegal mental hospital for a year. The reporter goes after the case in hopes of getting his job back. Insane is a movie that does some things right. Mystery thrillers are a great genre for tension building, and if the story is intriguing enough, it keeps the audience on their toes up until the very end. I do think that the story here has potential, especially since the movie starts with the woman's abduction. It's very sudden and surprising. And thankfully the movie dedicates a lot of time to show us what had happened to her in that 1 year, and those sequences are the best part of the movie. Thankfully the movie chooses the show-don't-tell approach when it comes to her time in the hospital. Even though she's telling the story to the reporter, there's no voiceover or anything, it's all played out in front of us. And it's pretty horrific. I mean, it's not a horror movie, but she does experience a lot of things that she really shouldn't have. Every tension, everything that makes this movie a thriller is coming from these scenes. Dare I say, those are the only good or interesting parts of the movie. Unfortunately, the characters are very one-dimensional. Lee Sang-yoon as the reporter just wants to get his position back. He has no interest in the woman as a human being, so it's impossible to sympathize with him. And Kang Hae-won as the young woman, while it's absolutely terrible what she goes through, her character is also not a very well fleshed out one. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a heartless bastard. I sympathize with her situation. I just don't know who she is as a human being. Does that make sense? But there's a bigger problem. Since the whole movie is basically her remembering what had happened, there are little to no actual stakes in the movie. Because whatever happens in the hospital, we know that she's gonna make it. So there's no real weight to anything that happens, despite the movie having some pretty good sequences which I really enjoyed. But since I knew that she's gonna make it, it was hard for me to immerse myself in the movie, because I already knew the outcome. You know what I mean? Besides that, the first 20-30 minutes of the movie are really boring and uninspired. It's a lot of dialogue scenes with a lot of close-ups, a lot of reverse shot is happening, and it makes the movie look terribly dull. Not to mention how boring and dry these dialogues are, and how exposition heavy they are. I kept thinking to myself that there must be a twist in the story somewhere, because despite this being a mystery thriller, there was little to no mystery. So I thought there must be something else underneath the surface. And there is, and it works. And it's thanks to that the movie doesn't leave a sour taste in your mouth. The problem is that the ending would have been much more powerful had some information were revealed to us earlier. I can't go into details, but there are some things that would have been very powerful if we had time to process them. But we don't. But at least it makes sense. If the characters were stronger, if the movie didn't spoil itself by making the hospital scenes flashbacks, and if the movie gave us certain information a little earlier, this could have been a pretty good flick. Instead, it's just something that I enjoy parts of, but overall it's pretty boring, unfortunately. Because of the things I liked, I'm gonna give Insane 60%. If you're looking for a pretty light thriller, this might be a good choice. I also had some fun with it, judge by yourself. But I wouldn't watch this ever again for sure. 여러분, 오늘은 여기까지만 해요. 영상 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 이 영상 좋아하면 구독해주세요. See you very soon. 다음 시간에 만나요, 여러분. 안녕히 계세요. Bye!